and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so now. Like, comment, and share. Well, today I'm going to be talking about, and first let me say this, it took me some time for me to open up and really start talking about my story with molestation, and also my upbringing and the things that I have went through and the obstacles that I have overcome. So when my first molestation story started, I was 5 years old. It was me, my mom, my dad, and my siblings. I had two brothers and a sister that lived in the house at the time. And we had a 3-bedroom apartment and a high-rise building. And I had a cousin that was, he was probably about 14, 15 years old. And he came over to stay with us for the summer. And not only that, he was running a candy store from our house, which he was doing for probably about 3 weeks. And he was my mom's sister's son. So, you know, my family had him over to the house to have him spend time with us. You know, they loved him and they trusted him, you know, around us. So he had this candy store that he was running from our house. And sometime he would have me, and I had a younger sister. I was 5 and she was 2. We were 3 years apart. And we would help him set up the candy store to get it prepared for the day. And that was very exciting to us because, you know, as kids, you know, being around candy and being able to have access to all the candies right there in your home was very exciting to us, as it would be for any child. So, he became my favorite cousin because, you know, he gifted me with candy all the time. And I never paid attention or never even thought that I was special because he would give me a little more candy than he would give my sister. So that didn't dawn on me. It just, you know, I was just happy, you know. I was just happy. And one night, we were all getting ready for bed. And I remember my dad locking, because, you know, he has this thing, he cannot go to bed unless everything is locked up and everything is, you know, secure and safe before, you know, we would, you know, before he would go to bed, he would make sure we were okay. So, my dad would go to bed and lock, you know, everything up, and he would go in the room, him and my mom, and shut the door and go to sleep. Our house would be pretty much very dark where you wouldn't see anything until daylight came in. So, my cousin would come into my bedroom around 2, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know, but it was, I would be, you know, silenced into my sleep, and he would come in and he would pick me up out of the bed and carry me into the living room where he would be sleeping. And he would lay me down and, you know, rub on me and, you know, rope me. I would say he would have his penis exposed as he would rub himself on me, and kissing on me, and no penetration, okay? And I knew something was wrong, and he will always say, do not tell. If you can't tell nobody, because this is not something you want them to know, because they're going to make me go home with the candy. He used the candy as a reason to manipulate me, I would say, to overthink, to overpower me on what he was doing, which I knew something was wrong. I just was so young that I could not articulate it at the time. So it went on, and it went on for probably 8 times. He had violated me with no penetration, but exposing himself on me and putting his mouth all over me and things like that. And my parents never woke up and caught him. And again, my parents never had that conversation with me at 5 yet, about good touch or bad touch yet. So I did not know what he was doing was wrong, but I knew inside something was wrong and off about it, but I just could not articulate it. So that, he was able to get away with that until I got a little older. And I realized good touch, bad touch. And then I had that conversation with my mom. Of course, I didn't get any justice for it. My mom simply said I should have told her when it happened. But I didn't acknowledge what I was going through was molestation. And it was wrong, until I got a little older. But then that happened, and he ended up moving out of our house like a month later, and moving on. And I never got a chance to confront him for what he had done to me. And like I said, I did tell my mom about it, what he did, and that he had violated me. And I never got justice for that, and I've never got any type of therapy or anything for that. But that just wasn't the end of my molestation horror. I must say, after my cousin violated me, I would say months after that, I decided I wanted to go and stay at my sister's house because I felt more safer at my sister's house. And my sister had 2 daughters that was very close in age with me. And I really, love my nieces, and I wanted to be around them and spend time with them. And it was fun being there, my sisters, with them. So I ended up spending lots of time till I basically were moving in and didn't even realize that I was spending that significant time, so much time as I was at my sister's house, and I wasn't home. And one day, my sister and I actually, let me back up. I was 11 years old, and at that time, my sister was starting to give me like cigarettes, and she would give me beer, and she would give me weed, which they call reefer back then, when they used to have the little brown envelopes, and it would be full, with the marijuana in it, and then you roll the white boys, these, y'all get it. Y'all get where I'm getting at, right? The old school stuff that was going on back then. But anyway, she would do that with me. Not all the time, but sometimes she may say, take a puff or a sip of this or something like that. And I didn't acknowledge at the time that me sipping the beer and puffing the marijuana, that was actually a way that I was suppressing the feelings that I was getting that was never addressed by, the molestation that was happening to me. So it just felt good to me at the time to have something to try to cover up what I was feeling. So things seemed like they were turning